matchup of the two top-ranked teams in Minnesota Class 6A football. Number 1 and 11-0 Wayzata takes on number 2 and 1 Lakeville South. From U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson, the 6A semifinal, the second one. Last night, Champlin Park defeated Lakeville North, and the winner tonight, Ryan, between the Trojans and the Cougars, will take on the Rebels here 2 weeks from tonight.
Well, we're supposed to be impartial, John, but we're hoping for an all CCX final, I think, and kind of neat that we've gotten to see these two teams play throughout the year. And I said it about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I felt Champlin Park and Wayzata the two most dominating and just balanced football teams, and it showed last night. Champlin Park with a great win over Lakeville North. Tonight, Wayzata overpowering, physical, talented, but they're playing against something they don't see very often, a really tough wing T running attack by Lakeville South. It's going to be a really exciting matchup.
Cougars have reeled off 9 wins in a row, and in most of those games, it hasn't been close. And they've been really blowing out some teams. Wayzata's had some close games along the way, although their playoff games, the margin has been a little bit bigger. So I think this is going to be a terrific matchup. Last night, I thought, watching that game, that the turnovers were the key. There were some really big turnovers that hurt Lakeville North that Champlin Park was able to take advantage, and often that's what it comes down to when you have teams with this much talent on both sides.
Yeah, and I think tonight, too, for Wayzata, their best defense might be their offense, and using that big physical running attack that they have and chewing up time of possession, John. If they can go slowly, own 5-6 minute drives, chunks at a time, they keep that Lakeville South offense on the sideline. And I'll tell you what, as good as Wayzata is on defense, it's hard to simulate this wing T, and you just have to be so disciplined, and you have to make sure you're playing your gaps, tackling everybody, because you never know who's going to have the ball, but you're just not used to seeing it, and that's why I think Lakeville South has so much success running it.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Wayzata. Lashaka Rokes, outstanding senior linebacker, really had a nice game last week against Centennial and has had an outstanding senior season.
Well, 9 tackles, a number of those for loss last week, and tackling this running game tonight, he's got to be so active. And I think the key for Wayzata in stopping this kind of an offense, John, you got to get push up the field. If you hold back, they are so quick. They hit their gaps. They run so fast. They're going to get 5, 6, 7 yards on those. But with Rokes and their athleticism that they have, if they can get up the field, control the line of scrimmage, and stop that run, put Lakeville South in 3rd and long passing situations where they're not as successful, basically. If Wayzata can do that, they're going to have a good chance to win tonight.
For Lakeville South, they have 3 running backs with over 650 yards rushing on the season. And the top guy for them, Johnny Shabazz.
Well, averaging, I think, in the playoffs over 10 yards a carry. Regular season, 8.5. So imagine getting a first down every time you touch the football. I mean, that's how good and dynamic this offense is. But to your point, John, they got great balance, and you never know who's going to get it, and they don't favor anybody. It's not like you're going to see Wayzata, you know who he's going to be getting the football 30 times tonight. With Lakeville South, you might have 3 to 4 different players with 10 to 12 carries. So Shabazz has been great, averages a big chunk of yards, touchdown machine. But I think as a whole, their running game is really hard to slow down.
Players are playing at U.S. Bank Stadium here for the first time as high school players. So what does that element bring in? I mean, obviously you try to get that all out in warm-ups, kind of take a look around and not let you affect the game, right?
Well, I can tell you from my past, playing in the Metrodome at the time was a big deal. It's really overwhelming, and you're looking around. This is where the NFL players play, so it's an overwhelming feeling. You're nervous, you're anxious. A couple things stand out. One is you wait. You get here early and you're waiting for the game to start. And 2, you warm up hard, and it is hot down there, so you are sweating. So always keeping an eye on who's cramping, who's in good shape at this time of the year. But like we always talk about, John, in big games, just play. Whoever can settle into just playing football and who can ever do that earliest. I always think getting a lead early in these kind of games calms everyone down, and then you relax. And then the last thing I tell you, if I was playing in this game, enjoy it. You know, I'm 20 years removed from playing in the state championship, and I can remember every second of that game. So for these kids and our fans watching, enjoy it, because it's going to be a great one tonight.
Wayzata, Lakeville South. We're going to kick it off in just a moment. The winner goes to the Prep Bowl. We'll kick it off on CCX after this timeout.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Downtown Minneapolis on a Friday night as we get ready for high school football on CCX. State High School League Class 6A semifinals. Number 1, Wayzata, and number 2, Lakeville South. Each team trying to get to the Prep Bowl for the first time in a number of years. For Wayzata, it's 2011, their last season. And for Lakeville South, their last time in a championship game, 2006, although South was in this game last year, so some of these South players do have experience playing here at U.S. Bank Stadium, where it's been 8 years, as I mentioned, for the Trojans program.
Well, and pretty remarkable in that when you think of a power, you don't think of Lakeville South, but back-to-back years being in the Final Four, pretty impressive.
As you look at the state tournaments that both teams have been in through the years, and the back-to-back seasons for Lakeville South after not having been in the state playoffs for 8 years. Let's look at the 6A bracket, the state tournament bracket, and only one spot left in that Prep Bowl. Lakeville North, Champlin Park, Wayzata, and Lakeville South all advancing out of the quarterfinals. Last night, Champlin Park with a 31-21 win over Lakeville North. Had a 21-0 lead. North got as close as 21-14, and then Champlin Park pulling away late with 10 points in the fourth quarter. And they are resting, watching this one with interest to see who they'll play on the 29th, day after Thanksgiving here at 7 p.m.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that first half of Champlin Park was some of the best football I've seen all year. They just came out. They were so effective throwing it. Defensively, they were great. And the nice thing, too, John, you got that 2-week gap between now and the Prep Bowl. So you got time to get healthy, and all your nicks and injuries, you get them all healed up and ready to go.
And to look at Lambert Brown, third season as head coach. 18-12 record with Wayzata, and 11-0 this season for the Trojans. And a terrific year for the Wayzata program, and team that had a lot of success in the first decade plus here of the 2000s. Ben Burt took over as head coach partway through the season, done a great job. Didn't miss a beat, 8-0 since he has taken over as the Cougars head coach.
Well, and a big part of his success is that mustache. I just absolutely love that. But in all seriousness, I mean, give these kids a ton of credit, and this coaching staff. When you go through a coaching change, you know, early in the year like that, to be able to adjust, to get through it, and not only that, but thrive on it. They've had a couple of big wins. Beating Lakeville North during the regular season, their big rivalry was a huge win for them, and coming in with a ton of confidence.
Lakeville South will receive the opening kickoff. Peter Melquist is the kicker for Wayzata. Back deep for South, Riley Haglin, 22. Johnny Shabazz, 24, standing just inside their own 10-yard line. Last of the playoff games here today. And we're kicking off nearly 90 minutes late past the scheduled kickoff time of 7 o'clock at 8:27. Breaking one tackle, but not two. Getting out is Haglin past the 25 to the 27-yard line. So we'll take a look at this South offense that has produced a lot of points this season, Ryan. 340 points in 11 games.
Well, I'll tell you, you're going to have your work cut out for you tonight, John, having to figure out who's got that football. Our camera people, we thought Elk River was pretty tricky. Same thing. You're never quite sure who's going to have the ball. You really got to concentrate. And if it's hard for us, imagine as a defender not knowing who's got the football. That's where you got to tackle everyone. You got to play your responsibility.
There's Reed Patterson's numbers. He hasn't completed half of his passes, but when he completes them, they're pretty effective.
Yep.
Nearly 600 yards, 8 touchdowns, and just 1 interception on the season. He can run the ball as well. First play of the game, it'll be a handoff and a gain out past the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's Riley Hagelin, the junior running back. And he gets a good 5-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to see Wayzata, I think, to defend. There's a look at the Lakeville South offensive starters. But you're going to bring those safeties and some of those cornerbacks up into the box as extra tacklers. And you're going to try to force Lakeville South to beat you throwing the football. The problem is they set it up so well with their run.
Handoff, and it's inside, and no gain, perhaps even a loss on the play, and the handoff to Shabazz. He did definitely lost some yardage there.
Well, and that's Big Joe Demro, who we've seen just be an absolute monster this year, dominating games with his physicality. And he came up big there. He's just so big. You're going to see him playing more on the interior. A lot of times he's playing defensive end. You're going to see him up the middle as he did there. Got great penetration there.
Loss of 1. It's 3rd down and 6. So give it to Hagelin again. And Rokes makes the tackle. He had help along with Casey Winterer. And he got enough for the first down. Just enough. A nice 6-yard run by Hagelin on 3rd down. First down of the ball game.
Well, and the other thing that's tough, John, from a football standpoint is with 3 running backs like that, a lot of times you'll get that power. You're getting 3 linemen plus the center plus 2 running backs lead blocking. So you got a lot of horsepower up front.
Yeah, it's a tackle for loss. It's hit in the backfield as Shabazz and driven back. That's Gage Knutson. It's a loss on the play. They bring up 2nd down. And now still close to 10.
Well, great penetration. That's what you have to do against Lakeville South. Win first down, get a penetration. Those defensive starters, as big and physical of a defensive line, you combine that with some great athletes in the secondary and at linebacker. They got a very good defense.
Here's Hagelin, the ball carrier. He'll get out past the 40 before he is driven back. Eddie Bennigan leading the charge on the defensive tackle there, and gain of 3, but it'll be 3rd down and 7.
And I think you're gonna be calling Eddie Bennigan his name more. You're gonna be calling Drew Berglund his name more. And again, I think if Wayzata is successful, John, against this run, those guys got to be making plays at that 2 to 3 yard gain area.
3rd and 7 South from their 41. Give and a good carry up the middle, and it's a first down. And Utopia tackled Shabazz, but not until he gained 10, 11 yards there.
And think about how crazy this is. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. They run trap right up the middle. And again, all the momentum going out to the right there. So you get flow, your defensive linemen, your linebackers all flowing that way. And you forget to defend trap. And before you know it, there's a first down picked up.
Give it to Shabazz again. A good positive gain for him on his 4th carry of this drive. He'll pick up 4. Maybe closer to 5. So just what you see all season from Lakeville South. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. We're going to run it some more until you stop now.
3rd and 9, and you're comfortable enough and you trust your offense enough to run dive or trap right up the middle. But there's a madness to the method. They're setting up bootlegs. They're setting up different stuff out of it, but you have to be successful running that trap.
It's Bastier with his first carries into the open. Inside the 30, it's a foot race. Bastier gets to the end zone for a touchdown. Willie Bastier, his 8th touchdown of the season, and Lakeville South scores on its opening drive.
Well, Bastier did a phenomenal job, John, of staying on his feet. Didn't it look like he was about to go down maybe a couple of times, but he had great balance, stayed on his feet, great speed, and he put a nice move there on Utopia there towards the end of the run, able to get into the end zone. What a big-time run. and exactly the kind of drive, opening statement you want to make if you're Lakeville South. You start with the football and you march down, and you do it the only way you've done it all year long is running the football.
John Olson is the kicker. Reed Patterson, the quarterback, is the holder. Down the middle. 8:13 to play in the first quarter. It is 7-0. Lakeville South.
You know, the other thing too, John, if you look at Lakeville South's scoring, you look at Elk River, the way they score, they put so much pressure on you. And look at that run, look at that balance. He was about to go down. He went from almost falling to full speed, and you see that little hesitation there at the end to finish it off. But you know they're going to keep coming at you, and what it does is it forces now Wayzata to feel like, hey, we got to keep up with that. And you end up taking shots or chances, or you end up doing things that normally you wouldn't feel like you have to do, and then it can just compound itself. And if you're Wayzata, that's okay. You got to see how it works. Now you got to make some adjustments defensively, and if you're on offense, again, we talked about in the pregame, they got to control the time of possession here, I think, and keep this Cougar offense on the sideline.
So a great Lakeville South opening drive. With 73 yards down the field. 8 plays, all on the ground.
And, you know, it makes you wonder the success Lakeville South has that Elk River's enjoyed. Are more teams going to start going to that? It takes so much work and effort because it's all timing and repetition, and you got to have great offensive linemen to execute it, but you can see how difficult it is when you're not used to seeing it.
Olson with a good high kick into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Wayzata will start 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. The first offensive series of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say Olson on his extra point. I mean, that would have been good from about 50 there. He boots it on the kickoff into the end zone. That's a nice weapon to have in high school football, especially when you're playing indoors, when you don't have wind and rain and snow and cold weather.
Tom Schmidt been an effective passer to say the least. Nearly 63% on the season, 19 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions.
That's what you want to see as a head coach. 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, high completion percentage. He takes care of the football.
Wayzata going to go to Christian Vassar a lot, including on this first play, and he gains 25 yards. Had over 235 last week against Centennial. And how about a run on your first play from scrimmage, Ryan, for 27?
Yeah, and I have bad news for the Cougars. He tends to only get better as the game goes on. You know, and this is kind of the thing we thought about. We were talking in the pregame, is that Wayzata offensive line so big and physical that if they're able to control that line of scrimmage, they're going to be able to run with Christian Vassar all night long.
Gets the call here, and it's across midfield into Lakeville South territory. A gain of 4.
Well, and the Trojans put so much pressure on the defense to feel like, hey, to stop this physical running attack, we got to bring our safeties up into the box to help out with that. And then they hit you with that play action and those slants across the middle with Wildermuth and Bush. And so they're really, really difficult to guard.
Bush comes in motion. Nice hole for Vassar again. He's got another first down inside the South 40 down to the 39 and a pickup of 10. Rushed for nearly 1,700 yards on the season and 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just that perfect combination of physicality, strength, and speed. And he runs hard, but he runs with great vision too, John.
Play action, the throw and the completion down to the 30-yard line and a gain of 9. Wildermuth on the catch.
Wildermuth is Schmidt's favorite target. They got a great rapport going, and again, that play action, and just for the second, those linebackers, watch the linebackers take a step up, and what that does is it frees up that seam right in the middle of the field. And if you start getting aggressive and overplay that, they'll hit you with a pump fake and throw the ball deep.
44th catch of the season for Wildermuth. Back to the ground game, and Christian Vassar rips off 10 more yards. It's first down and 10 at the Lakeville South 20.
Yeah, and to try to get Wayzata when they're in a rhythm like they are on this drive, you have to get creative defensively. You have to bring blitz. You have to run some slants and move your linemen around. You can't stay stagnant, because if you do, this big physical offensive line, they know where you're going to be and they will pound on you. They just got so much weight up front, so physical.
Vassar had to pick a hole outside and cuts it back inside to the 10-yard line and gets down to the 8. Brought down by George Brecky, who saved a touchdown. It's 1st and goal for Wayzata.
Well, and that's a great run there. That demonstrates exactly how good Christian Vassar is. Watch, Jay, good patience here. You see that little in and out, and then he's got the vision to cut back. And that's a heck of a tackle by Brecky. He doesn't make that tackle. Vassar waltzes into the end zone.
On 1st and goal, Vassar gets the call again, and he's dropped for a loss.
That was a nice play. And there you see how Lakeville South brought some pressure with their linebackers. I think that was Juckle that got in there. And that's what you got to do. You got to mix up your pressures. You got to bring those linebackers in different gaps. If you can get some penetration into the backfield, that's what you have to do.
2nd down and goal back at the 11. Give to Vassar again. Not much. He'll pick his way inside the 10. He does get 2, but not too much. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there.
Yeah, those last 2 plays, there's a look at the Wayzata offensive starters. But Lakeville South doing a great job at just getting in the way and getting some bodies in there, so there's no cutbacks, there's no lanes, and now you got 3rd and goal from the 9, so you're kind of forcing Wayzata to maybe try to throw the ball into the end zone instead of running it. And I'll tell you, keep an eye on Luke Bodine. He's a great red zone target, very athletic tight end.
They do give to Vassar again, though. Trying to go outside, turns the corner of the 5, driving toward the end zone, but he's driven out of bounds at the 2. It'll be 4th down and goal from there.
Well, the speed to get outside, John, and then the power to finish that one off. That was a heck of a collision. Nick Austin and George Brecky in on the tackle. Very physical tackle. That's how you got to tackle a running back like Christian Vassar.
No thought of going for a field goal.
No.
4th down and goal. They're going to go for 6. Power backfield now. They give to Vassar. He's in for the touchdown. 9 carries for Christian Vassar, 71 yards on the opening drive.
That's a heck of a game for a lot of running backs. 9 carries, 71 yards. And the thing you don't realize indoors like this, and you're worked up, your adrenaline's going, you got to be in such good shape to handle that load. And it wasn't like they were easy runs. He was working on all of them, and there were some physical hits there. But that's exactly the kind of response Wayzata needed. You give up that opening touchdown, you don't panic, you do what you do best. And John, we just may have a case where we have 2 really good offenses and 2 defenses that are good, but you know, unless there's some adjustments made, this might be a high-scoring affair tonight.
Melquist Point is up and good, and with 4:12 left in the first quarter, we're tied at 7.
I'll tell you too, sometimes when we do CCX broadcasts, I do the sideline, and I got to interview Christian Vassar last week, and what a humble kid too. He was so humble, so complimentary of his line. There's a great block too by Bodine in front of him. And he just said, hey, I asked him point blank, how are you able to be so effective? He said, my offensive line. And you love that kind of humbleness and humility and a great drive there by the Trojans.
And your follow-up was, why are you so good, or something to that effect? And don't say your offensive line. He wouldn't take the bait.
No,
he
he
still
wouldn't
said
take
my
it.
offensive line. He went right back to that.
You know, the big sexies have gotten plenty of publicity, with your guys' great story on him. So I was trying to get him to tell me what makes him so good, but humble kid and tremendous talent.
Good catch by Melquist, and then Hagelin couldn't keep his balance and just falls out of bounds back at the 6-yard line.
Interesting decision to field that. I thought he should have let that one go. It probably would have gone out of bounds, and they would have gotten great field position. And you know what it is, John? It's a big game. You want to make a big play, and you, for a split second, you kind of lose what you've been doing all year. And that's where you just got to buckle down, and mentally you got to be sharp on every possession, every play.
So South starts from their own 6-yard line. Tied up at 7 here late in the first quarter. It's an inside handoff. Wayzata's defense, a lot of white shirts around the ball that time, and making the tackle on Bastier, who had the touchdown run on the final play of the last drive.
Well, they just had enough bodies there in between the tackles, and Matt Schmidt came up and as an outside linebacker was right there. And if you get that one-on-one tackling opportunity, you got to be a sure tackler, and he was on that one.
Second down and 8. South from their own 8. Patterson gives. Hagelin following blocks, gets out past the 10 to the 13-yard line. Among those on the stop for Wayzata, Winter.
Well, one thing you're not used to seeing is teams get a push against that Trojan front 4, front 5, and Lakeville South getting the push. Not a big gain, but still getting positive yards out of it. And this is right in their wheelhouse. This 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
Give this to Hagelin. He's out past the 15 to the 16, close to a first down. I think they're going to mark him short, though.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I think that Garrett Savard, on the tackle. Well, he's definitely short.
Yeah, they're going to mark him about a 3/4 of a yard short. I thought maybe Lakeville South would keep their offense out, but they're not. They're bringing that punt team out. This could be a big stop here for the Trojan defense.
Yeah, I think from your own 15, and it's way too early to, as much confidence you might have in the running game to go for it, right? Will Geary will punt it away. It's a good kick to the bounce at the 50. Berkman's going to let it roll and he'll take a south roll down inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. 53-yard kick with no return.
Yeah, great punt, great kick. I had a coach once tell me if it's 4th and 2 or less, he's always going for it, no matter where. And he said if we can't get 2 yards, then we don't deserve to win. And it's kind of interesting, right? You think of Lakeville South, if you look at how many runs they've had on the year that didn't gain a half a yard, but to your point, it's the smart football play there to kick it off, change field position, but yeah, interesting as well.
Just over 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson from US Bank Stadium, 7-7, 6A semifinals. Christian Vassar, his 10th carry of the opening quarter, and he picks up 5 yards.
And that's a win for an offense on first down. It's such a nice luxury to have a running back that's durable and dependent like that, and consistent and good with the football. You rarely see him put the ball on the ground as well.
Play action, Schmidt's throw to Wildermuth. Close to the first down marker, driven back, but his forward progress.
Oh, no, they didn't give him forward progress.
Initially they had started to move in from the sideline, he was at the sticks, and now they've driven back, so they felt Wildermuth was trying to get some yardage on his own. And so no forward progress given. It's 3rd down and short, gain of 3. And that is a first down, and I'd say, and more into South territory.
Just a big power run right up the middle, and you can see them. They're running right behind their right tackle on that, Jack Carver, and right guard Graham Vigors. They know where their power is, and they went right up to it. The other thing I like is, John, that pass was only 3-4 yards, but it's just enough to keep that defense honest, and then they can get back to that power running game. So just really effective.
Vassar hit here as he got to the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain. Mark Mosser, senior linebacker, on the tackle.
Yeah, nice job. Mosser got good penetration up the middle there. He was low. And if you're going to tackle Christian Vassar, you got to get him low. That was an excellent play, excellent tackle by Mark.
Looks like they're going to let the quarter run out here. Still more play clock left than time clock. Look at the defensive start. Excuse me.
No, I was going to say Lakeville South, their offense is so predicated on rhythm that it's a smart play. Let the clock tick down here, get the extra few minute break. You give your offensive line a breather. You give Christian Vassar a breather here, and also you keep that Lakeville South offense on the sideline for a few extra minutes too.
Entertaining first quarter. Our score after one. Wayzata 7, Lakeville South 7. More playoff football on CCX from US Bank Stadium in a moment.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Wayzata's offense huddled around head coach Lambert Brown as they get ready to take the field for the beginning of the second quarter. US Bank Stadium will be filled with just a few more people, Ryan, come Sunday afternoon here as the Vikings host the Denver Broncos, trying to go to 8-3.
Yeah, pretty exciting time for Minnesota football at all levels. We have high school state championships coming up. Gophers obviously with the huge win. Vikings playing well. Pretty fun time.
It's a second down. Schmidt throwing wide open. It's a first down on a nice move by Wildermuth. He gets to the 25, down to the 24, and a pickup of 26 yards. Daniel Otto on the tackle.
Well, that was just a great run. You give your quarterback an easy throw, and Deshaun Bush was running his defender way down the field. Watch how much open space for Wildermuth here, and watch this move. Just a phenomenal move, make a guy miss, and an easy throw for your quarterback, so you're getting him in rhythm, and then a great run after the catch.
Chain broke down there, Ryan. I got to get that fixed before we resume play.
An injury timeout, just not to one of the players.
Now looks like they're set to go. First down and 10. Wayzata from the 24-yard line of Lakeville South. Schmidt 3 of 3 passing, 38 yards, all to Wildermuth. Back to Vassar, and going inside, worked hard to get 2 yards on his 13th carry of the evening.
You know, and something simple like that, John, not a big play, but a lot of running backs, that would have been a loss of 1, a loss of 2. You just drive forward, it's nothing fancy, but at least you get positive yards out of it. And you talked about it too. You know, I think Schmidt 3 for 3 for 38 yards. Pretty decent balance right here so far this first half.
They give it to Vassar again. He gets inside the 20. Knocked down at the 18-yard line. Gain of 4 to bring up third down and 4.
Yeah, and if you ask any offensive coordinator or offensive coach, this 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 is their favorite, because you got everything on the table. You can still run the football. There they go with a hard count, and they're going to pick up maybe an easy first down here. Nice job by the quarterback Schmidt there, going with the hard count.
Encroachment. Defense number 71. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Seventh first down of the opening half here for Wayzata. They've got a first down and 10 at the 13 of Lakeville South. Schmidt will give to Vassar. Breaks the tackle at the 10, runs down to the 7-yard line. 6 more yards for number 4.
You know, we talk about the offensive line too, but really good blocking tight ends. That time, number 88, Zach Thompson, got a great kick out from that outside right there and opened up that hole. And Luke Bodine's an excellent blocker too, so they got great blocking all across the board.
Vassar again inside the 5, down to the 4. Will be shy of a first down. 3rd and 1.
You know what I love to see too? You see these Lakeville South players helping Christian Vassar up and slapping him on the helmet. You love that, competing against each other, but yet still being great sports about it. Oh, what a fake.
Schmidt on the keeper will go in for the touchdown.
Wow.
Walks in from 4 yards out, and Wayzata has the lead.
I don't know if that was a called play or if Schmidt just saw something and kept it, but what a great call, what great timing on that. You've gotten, 14, 15 Christian Vassar carries, and Tom Schmidt, not known to be a great runner there. He completely fooled the Cougars, and he walked into the end zone. What a great call.
Melquist for the extra point, up and through. And Wayzata has the lead at 14-7.
Maybe Tom Schmidt picked a little something up watching the Lakeville South offense on tape all week long, and that was just an excellent ball fake and completely set up by the success they've had running up the middle. And you could see that time number 17, Mark Mosser, is that outside backer. He was rushing in from the outside, completely bought the fake. And Schmidt just walks into the end zone, and he's fired up. Big time play.
Schmidt with his third rushing touchdown of the season.
You know, that's the thing. You're defending Wayzata. What do you do? You know what I mean? You sell out to stop Christian Vassar, which I think is the smart thing. And Wayzata sprinkles in just enough other stuff to make you pay for it when you decide to do that. So it's just a really difficult offense to defend.
Hagelin on the return, out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Ashaka Rokes on the tackle. One of your best defenders on special teams on the kickoff. You get to playoffs, all hands on deck. You get your best athletes on the field, right?
You get your best players in as many situations as you possibly can. There's no thinking about injuries or saving them for later in the year. It's all out to win. And if you can get buy-in from your best players to want to do that too, which they certainly do with a guy like Rokes, that's a great leadership, great team, and great coaching too.
So South trailing, and Hagelin gets the carry on first down. A nice first down run out past the 35 to the 36-yard line. Or excuse me, 33-yard line before he's tackled by Birkeland. And it gets about 7 yards.
None of these backs are that big. They're all 170, 180, 190 pounds. But you can see they run with some power, and they finish their runs. If there's contact, they're usually moving it forward.
Ready to go to Bastier, and he's wrapped up and dropped. Tackle made by Cole Brown, the junior linebacker, number 31.
Cole Brown did a great job, but this play was made by Sam Robertson, number 7. You see him take on that lead block 2 or 3 yards up into the backfield, no place to go. And that's just team defense. That's everyone doing their job, setting the edge, and then great job by Cole Brown finishing it up.
That's a loss of 3. 3rd and 6 for South. And the throw for the first time tonight, and it's going to be Robertson wrapping up Shabazz and then dropping him. And Lakeville South will have to punt. Hayden Davison also in on the stop. Well, I was at Wayzata hockey practice today. Hayden Davison's a guy that should be out practicing hockey right now, but he's still playing football here.
Oh, I think that's okay. That's just great preparation. Watching film, they've seen that play, and you could tell they were ready for it. Sam Robertson had a couple of nice big plays on that series. He blew up the previous play. That time stayed home and made a great tackle. Wayzata with a couple of great drives and a couple of great stops here on defense.
Fair catch. Signal 4 and grab back at the 35-yard line by Drew Birkeland. You know, Wayzata with a little momentum here, Ryan.
Oh, they do, and they have a chance here, I think, to really make a statement on this drive and go up 2 scores. But you're seeing Champlin Park last night was the team that was more willing to throw and run and have that balance, where Lakeville North is predominantly running the football. Tonight you're seeing more balance with Wayzata, able to run the football, but also sprinkle in some effective passing as well. I just think when you get to this time of the postseason, when you're always going to be playing good competition, you got to be able more than one dimensional. You got to be able to do both.
Vassar on first down. Didn't look like much, and he got 4.
It almost looks like a scrum in rugby, doesn't it? You kind of get in the middle, and then they say, all right, guys, big sexies, lead us through there and get us, an extra yard or two. And again, nothing fancy about it, but you pick up 4 yards on first down.
2nd down and 6. Wayzata ball at their 39. The fake and the throw and broken up nicely. Great defensive play by Hank English.
He read his cue perfectly there, saw it coming, and just made a play. As soon as that ball was in the air, he broke on it, and he was right there on contact. Now, interesting, John, is Wayzata will notice that, and you might get a pump fake on the next one and try to use that aggressiveness that English showed on that play against them. So be watching for that a couple of series from now, but excellent play that time by the defensive back.
3rd down and 6. Cougars trying to get a stop on Wayzata here. Here goes to Vassar, and South blows it up. Vassar's helmet came off, but nobody tried to hit him over the head with it. So that's good. We'll play on. But nice defense by Lakeville South. Riley Molman leading the charge. But there are 4 crimson shirts around the ball there. A loss of 3.
Yeah, not hard to miss Riley Molman. He's only 6'8", 270 pounds. Big physical guy. He did a great job of getting up the field and able to get his hands wrapped around Christian Vassar. So Lakeville South's defense, a much needed stop here to get it back for their offense.
First punt on the night for Jack Martinson. On the run, Shabazz grabbed it at the 30, got about 3 yards out to the 33-yard line. 34-yard punt with a short return.
Now you're at the point you've seen each other's offenses and defense a couple of series. Now it's just football. Now it's about adjustments and execution, and I think both offensive coordinators maybe have a couple things they've seen, and this is where you maybe see a couple of new ideas or plays that they put in specifically for this game this week. He's a big boy.
He is, isn't he? Ball at the 34. Handoff to Shabazz. Up the middle, Matt Schmidt stops his forward progress after a gain of 3.
You know what else makes it hard for us and for defenders is the people that don't have the ball, they put their hands up and they carry the fakes out. So you're kind of never really sure who's got the football.
And Shabazz bending over a little bit. You talked about playing in the Metrodome and playing inside like that. I mean, it's comfortable for us up here and for the stands, but it gets warm down on the field
it really
when you're,
does.
as many weeks as you've been outside in the cold here. And even if you practiced inside this week, which I know these teams did.
And the other interesting thing, John, is if you think about how football seasons go, you work all summer to condition, right? And it's hot, and you start out, you condition, you're in great shape. Then as the season progresses, you don't condition as much. Look at a nice double team on the big fella, Demro. And that's what you got to do. You got to put 2 bodies on him. That's how good he is. But you stop conditioning as much. It's more preparation and mental, and then you get in here and it's warm and you got to make sure you're hydrating, and it's just a different feeling, and you can get worn out too really quickly.
3rd down and 4. It's Hagelin from the 40, and he looks like he's got a first down. Berkland on the stop along with Utopia, but they are going to give him the first down. 4+ yards.
Good execution, and I got some good kick-out blocks, and that time I thought Hagelin really hit that hole hard, able to get north and south in a hurry and pick up a big first down.
First and 10 from the 45 with just over 5 minutes to play in the first half. Patterson deep drop, throwing deep's got a man open. It's Brecky to the 20-yard line. Stiff arm, and he's thrown out of bounds at the 7. He is their big-time receiver. They do not throw a lot, as we talked about in the pregame. Brecky, that's his 14th catch of the year, averaging over 27 yards per catch.
And again, it's all set up because they can run the football. Great play action, and Brecky has been Patterson's favorite target all year. And that was a beautiful looking throw. He put that great touch in stride and a big play in the passing game.
Patterson keeping this time and won't get much at all. Loss even perhaps of the yard.
Well, Gage Knutson, number 56, did a great job of coming down. There's the great ball fake, and you see Brecky just gets past the safety there, and a nice throw and a stiff arm to try to get some extra yards. And, you know, we talk Lakeville South doesn't throw often, but about a quarter of their completions go for touchdowns. So, and I like that they didn't do that on third down when you were expecting it. They did it on a first down play when you were all selling out to stop the run. So great timing on that.
That was a gain of 46. Now here's Bastier up the middle to the end zone. Ball fumbles the football and recovered by Robertson. It's a touchback. Wow, huge play as Bastier's going in for an apparent nearly tying score. Ben Burt is out on the field. I think he feels like his guy had crossed the plane.
Well, they're going to review it.
And they will review. That's something that's come into the semifinals now in high school football. And so they will take a look at this again.
Well, that was a little counter play, so misdirection. Everyone going to the right. The handoff comes back to the left. And you can see Bastier gets there. Let's see if we can. Oh, that ball's out short of the end zone. That's a great call. And I'll tell you who made Sam Robertson on the recovery, number 7. He's been in the right spot tonight a number of times. And yeah, you could tell that was short of the end zone. That was an excellent call. You know, a really smart man said to me in the pregame that a lot of times turnovers play a big role in football games, and that's as close as you can get to possibly scoring. A really well executed play, and you can see
that ball's out. I mean, it's close.
No, it's short of the end zone though. Now you got to remember, if that ball crosses any plane of that end zone, it's a touchdown. But you could tell that ball definitely came out before he was across the end zone. The question is, are they looking at our feed?
No, they look at the Prep Spotlight feed.
Oh, so they don't got quite the same great view that we get.
Actually true.
But that's the right call, and that young man right there, great job of heads up getting on it, and Drew Berglund did a great job of stripping that ball just short of the end zone, and that's why you don't give up on a play. Even if it's a big gain, you just never give up, and Berglund strips it, and Robertson very, very heads up getting on it, recovering it.
I mean, even if it's close, I don't think there's anything that would be enough where you could overturn that call. So this should be a fairly quick decision.
Yeah, the first angle that we saw, actually, even though it was more head on, you could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, the ball's
you could see the ball fumbles and still isn't in the end zone and then rolls into the end zone. That's great camera work by our crew as always, but that's absolutely the right call. And John, that's deflating. When you had a big play in the passing game, you're marching down, trying to tie it, and you fumble at about the 6-inch line. So that's a big time play.
Lakeville South had some success in the last drive, stopping Wayzata's offense. Now a flag comes down at the end of this play. There's no gain, and so if it's a holding penalty, well, we're not going to guess what it is. Let's listen in.
At the end of the play, personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 52, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, Carter Bertram with the face mask. That's huge, John. You know, instead of 2nd and 10 and defensively, you've been playing really well the last series and into that first play there. And penalties and turnovers can change the momentum of a game quicker than anything else. And now, remember, keep in mind, I have a feeling we're going to see a shot down the field here on this drive.
Vassar on the carry on first down, gains 3 yards out to the 38-yard line. So it's been slowed a little more after this first 8, 10, 11 carries were all for big chunks for the most part, with the last 7 or 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 3, 4, -3, 0 and 3 here. 2nd and 7. We'll get the call again, and Vassar, a nice open field tackle by Brecky, stops him shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3, gain of 4 for Vassar.
Well, and you got to realize too, Lakeville South has a number of players that are playing both ways, so they're on the field all the time, and this Wayzata offense just slowly wears you down.
And a good push there, Ryan. They're out to the 48-yard line. They have a first down.
Excellent push there. And it's kind of deflating, too, as a defense, because you feel like you played that series pretty well, and yet here they still moving the chains, still picked up a first down.
Gain of 6, first down and 10 from the 48. Schmidt will give to Vassar again. Stays on his feet, bounces to the outside of the 30. Vassar down to the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 16. Tackle made by Reed Patterson.
You talked about, hey, they're starting to adjust here to Christian Vassar, and they just keep running it. Look at the blocking up front. That's just some excellent blocking. Graham Vigor's got a great kick-out block. Down the field, you see Wildermuth holding his block, so total team effort and a big gain by Vassar.
Gain of 36, first down and 10 at the 16. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. South almost jumped, they did.
Second time they've been able to get Lakeville South.
Encroachment, defense number 71. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And the second time, too, on Mason Coons, number 71. It's just those little things, because now then you as a defensive lineman, you pause a half a second because you don't want to jump offside, and that allows the offensive lineman to get that extra half a step on you.
Vassar will get the carry, and he's upended by Patterson, and a loss back to the 12.
You don't see too many quarterbacks also filling in. Watch him coming into your screen, takes on a great block, and that is a textbook tackle. Yeah, very rarely, especially at the 6A level. You see it a lot at some of the smaller schools, but do you see your quarterback playing outside linebacker? And that was a heck of a tackle.
Second down and 6. Schmidt throwing to the back of the end zone for Wildermuth, and incomplete. Pretty well covered. He threw it where it was only going to be either an incompletion or a completion to his guy, but he overshot him pretty well, and it's 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, really well defended that time. But to your point, remember that stat, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. If you throw that short or you don't have a lot of air on it, that could be intercepted. You don't want to turn it over down here. So if there's nothing there, you live to see another down.
South fans trying to get their defense fired up on 3rd down and 6. Give us to Vassar. Inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line.
They mark it.
They mark them back closer to the 6, though. It's going to be very close. It's either 1st and goal or 4th and inches. They're going to say 4th down. They're not even going to measure here. It is a good foot, maybe 2 short. They'll get right back up to the line of scrimmage.
And they're going unbalanced line again. You're going to see it coming right up the middle. Let's see.
4th and inches for Wayzata. Give to Vassar. He's got a first down. First down and goal at the 4.
And just the confidence of Lambert Brown to say, you know what? You know what's coming. We know what's coming. See if you can stop it. And when you got 4th and inches to go and you got Christian Vassar and you got those horses up front, that's a matchup they'll take every single time. And keep in mind, Tom Schmidt had a great ball fake and kept it the last time they were down here.
First down and goal from the 4. Direct snap to Vassar. Seth Green-like, but South ready for it, and they stop him for no gain, perhaps even a loss of half a yard there.
Kind of
well defended.
Yeah, interesting twist, something we haven't seen very much of, the direct snap, the Wildcat, but Lakeville South. That's just great team defense. Look at that, 4 crimson jerseys coming up to make that play, and George Brecky and Nick Austin, number 2 and number 3, they've had some good tackles already here in the first half.
Vassar already tonight, Ryan, first half, 27 carries for 156 yards and a touchdown.
Goodness. Wow. That's old school football right there. And he's not slowing down either. You know, and what I like too that Lambert Brown and his staff do is some coaches outthink themselves. You know, something's working, they get away from it, they try to be too creative. If it's working and they know that they're going to generally wear teams down with their size, that's their strength. You just keep going to it, and you may have a couple carries where, like you were mentioned, they slowed Christian Vassar down there for, 3 or 4 carries, but then he popped the big 36-yarder and so has had some success after that as well.
Second and goal from the 5. Wayzata with 2 timeouts remaining. Again, it goes right to Vassar. And gain a yard only to the 4-yard line.
I thought a couple of these runs, Vassar has cut inside, and you could see a lot of more white jerseys to the outside. Timeout Wayzata. If he would have maybe kept that and been able to get to the outside, to the edge, he might have been able to get a little bit more daylight.
A reminder, each week we have our Play of the Week, sponsored by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Each week 4 top prep plays from the area are up on our website for you to vote on. Cast your vote, and then we name a winner on each Monday Sports Jam, brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove.
Unless there's a spectacular play tonight, did you see the one-handed interception yesterday for
Devon
Tampa?
Moore.
Oh,
yeah.
That was one of the best catches I've seen in a long time. He should win it. If he doesn't, I'll still go to Chick-fil-A.
He'll accept the prize. There's a fun part of being at this game is just taking in the atmosphere, right? And watching all the fans that are here at the stadium and
just the excitement.
Enjoying,
yeah.
It's just a blast to be here.
It's there's a spirit in the air, and all day, all week, there's a buzz at school when you're playing in the Vikings stadium, and it just, your whole community rallies behind it.
Big play for both teams on 3rd and goal from the 4. Vassar getting to the end zone. Signal. Touchdown. On 3rd down and goal from the 4, Christian Vassar is in for his 2nd score of the night.
I didn't think he was going to get there, but you saw that extension right at the end. He got that ball, and it looked like that ball reached across the plane. And again, nothing fancy. The same play we've seen over and over in the first half, trusting it to work, and it does. That young man has had a heck of a first half. He's going to have to drink lots of Gatorade at halftime for sure. And the best part about it, they only left 12 seconds on the clock. So again, we talked about their offense being maybe their best defense as well. And to go up 2 scores, and remember they deferred to the second half, so they're going to get the ball also to start the second half.
I don't think they're reviewing the play. They haven't said anything. Just all right, we're ready to go.
Maybe just wanted to give everyone a breather quick.
Elquist's kick is up. The 21st point of the first half for Wayzata. 21-7 with 12 seconds to go in the half.
Well, again, pretty well defended by Lakeville South. They got a good push. Look at the contact at the 3-yard line. And that's just strength right there. And as on his fall forward, you know, as a running back, you're not always thinking about it. Watch him have the wherewithal to know where that line is. And before his knee touches, to get his arms extended like that, that's a very smart play.
And Emmert's like, yeah, I can give it to him another 29 times in the second half, maybe.
You imagine he has 58 carries for 300 and some yards. I mean, that he's just getting warmed up.
Hagelin back to return, to receive the kick, rather. Along with Shabazz. Melquist, the line drive. This one will be picked up at the 30-yard line and returned out past the 40 to the 42. On the return for the Cougars, Carson Hansen, freshman running back.
Well, and you talked about the number of points that Lakeville South has scored this year, and to only give up 7 points to them in the first half, that's pretty good defense by the Trojans. And you know, I know we don't have stats keeping that time of possession, but I would venture to guess Wayzata's had the ball for 65% of the first half, I think it would be fair, and just played really, really solid first half football.
8 seconds left to go in the first half. Hagelin, or the inside handoff rather, to Shabazz, who'll gain 8 yards out to the 48-yard line, and that'll be the end of the first half of play. Lakeville South scores first, but Wayzata scores 3 times since, and they take a 21-7 lead. The #1 team in the state lead the #2 Cougars by a score of 21-7.
Kind of exactly what I think you and I maybe expected going into this game is, you know, Lakeville South give them a little bit of trouble, and they did that opening possession. Were able to march down and score, but Wayzata just like an anaconda. They just kind of slowly strangle you, and they just wear on you. And 29 first half carries for Christian Vassar, just unbelievable.
Halftime at US Bank Stadium, Wayzata 21, Lakeville South 7. Our halftime at CCX coming up after this.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Patriotism.
Halftime at US Bank Stadium, Wayzata 21 and Lakeville South 7. Halfway to getting to the Prep Bowl in the Class 6A Championship 2 weeks from tonight. Oh, we've seen the work that the Wayzata offense has done on the ground tonight, and a large bit of that work is done by the large bodies up front. The offensive line, Jason Mallow profiled the Trojans' O-line recently on Sports Jam, and here's that story.
You won't hear their names called on highlights or written up in the paper very often, but Wayzata's offensive linemen are the driving force for an offense that's racked up more than 3,000 yards this season.
All these guys have a lot of self-pride, and that's what it really takes to play O-line.
You know, you're not getting your name in the paper every day. You know, I'm not getting interviewed all the time.
You definitely have to play for each other instead of, you know, the name in the paper or stuff like that. Just
play for the guy next to you.
All of the skill players, you know, Christian, especially Tom Schmidt, Malachi, all those guys, they thank us for what we do because we know we're not going to get our name in the paper or the headline or all this stuff, but they really know that we make their job a lot easier.
The flow of the Trojans line is impressive and the result of hard work on the field and in the film room. The group prides itself on being tough, but also smart.
They got a lot of FBI is what we call it, football intelligence, I would say.
They all trust each other. They all know that they're going to do their job. And they also hold each other accountable when they don't, which I think has really kind of caused them all to rise up. You know, and I think that their confidence in just their technique and their ability to go play the game and what they're doing has been really fun to watch.
And these boys are a tight group off the field as well, and they like to have fun.
We're really close. We, you know, hang out a lot on the weekends, and I think that really helps just build chemistry.
It's awesome because we got a bunch of characters on our O-line.
And they all agree the biggest character is senior guard Graham Viggers.
Oh man, I just like to have fun out here, man. That's honestly, like, if you're not having fun, then what are you doing out here, you know? It just, I like playing football. I like being with the guys, you know? And it's just a great opportunity. I hope it just lasts as long as it can.
Viggers is the one that branded the O-line with its nickname, the Big Sexies.
What do you think, Big Sexies? I knew a couple of guys that were at like the varsity at like Maple Grove because they were like neighbors with me, and so like they called themselves the Big Sexies, and I was like, that is so cool because it's like everyone's always like calling us like the Big Uglies or whatever, but like the Big Sexies, that had just like a ring to it. That just has like an attitude. I feel like you know, you gotta like trust yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
Wayzata's offensive line controlled the pit again last Friday, and the Trojans rolled over Eastridge and into the state quarterfinals. With the Big Sexies doing their thing and Wayzata's playmakers doing theirs, the Trojans have a real chance to be playing on Thanksgiving weekend.
That was Jason Melillo, and so far so good for Wayzata. Got a win over Centennial and up 21-7 here in the semifinals over Lakeville South. We'll come back and more of our intermission at U.S. Bank Stadium.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Ryan Iverson, I think, on his way to the Gallahorn. More football from U.S. Bank Stadium after this.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. We've got high school football here inside Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The semifinals in all the classes leading up to the Prep Bowl on the 2 days following Thanksgiving. It's Wayzata 21, Lakeville South 7. As you look at highlights from the first half of play here tonight, Lakeville South, Ryan Iverson impressive on its opening drive of the night, running some more, and Willie Bastier with a great touchdown run of 43 yards.
Yeah, it was. That was the opening drive, and I think it took Wayzata that possession to kind of see what this Lakeville South offense looked like, but that was an excellent opening drive.
Wayzata comes right back, 80-yard drive, 71 of them on the ground by Christian Vassar. Caps it off with a touchdown run to make it 7-7. And then Tom Schmidt, early in the second quarter, fakes the handoff. No one on that left side defending for South. He gets in for the score. Extra point good to make it 14-7. South, a great pass here. Patterson goes downfield and finds George Brecky. This one covered 46 yards and set up a 1st and goal for Lakeville South. And maybe the play of a half right here. Bastier looks like he's going in for a second score, but a ball knocked out of his hands by Birkeland, recovered by Robertson in the end zone. They reviewed it. It was a touchback, and it led to an 80-yard scoring drive for Wayzata, capped off by Vassar's second touchdown of the half. That came in the final 30 seconds to make the score 21-7. And how much different are we looking at? 14-14 or 21-14, perhaps even if Wayzata had scored if Bastier had gone in, but he did not. And there are the numbers at halftime. Wayzata with 203 total yards, the 155 for Lakeville South. About half of those came on that opening drive of the game. 10 first downs for the Trojans, 4 for the Cougars. And then you see the 7 points off turnovers that we saw on those last 2 highlights of the first half. 3 penalties, all on South for 25 yards.
Yeah, clean game for Wayzata, and I think exactly what their game plan was. Pound the football, control the football, control the time of possession, and that turnover, you know, obviously it's just demoralizing. You're that close to tying the game up, and Wayzata offensively has just been able to get whatever they want, and they've adjusted well, too, on defense. And remember, too, they got the ball here to start the second half. Up by 14, John, if they can march down and do exactly what they did in the first half and go up 3 scores, you're just going to take the will out of Lakeville South. So I think a really big possession here to start the second half.
Wayzata's football team looking for its first championship in 9 years. In 2 weeks, perhaps. Well, their volleyball team has already added a first-place trophy to the trophy case. 6 days ago, the Trojans defeated #1 Egan, the first loss of the season for the Wildcats. Wayzata staves off match point in the 5th set, and they win it to win their first state championship in that sport. A terrific season for the Trojans. Elizabeth Helmick there, and they had one of the Trojans on hand here to watch some of her classmates tonight in football. And congratulations to a great volleyball team and all they accomplished to get the championship last week at XL Energy Center.
Well, and I saw the scores. It was a 5-set match, 16-14 in the deciding set, so you couldn't get much closer. But what a fun feeling for those girls. And I love watching girls volleyball. I just think it's so fun, and they're so athletic too. And yeah, Wayzata successful really across the board in multiple sports, but that state championships they're something you're going to remember the rest of your life. So congratulations.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half. Wayzata, Lakeville South football from U.S. Bank Stadium after this.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that.
John Jacobson with Ryan Iverson tonight. U.S. Bank Stadium, one half of football left in the second 6A semifinal. The winner to take on Champlin Park November 29th at 7 p.m. right here on the same field. So for South, they need this defense to come up big, Ryan, here on this first series. Not necessarily a 3-and-out, but you don't want to give up any more points.
No, and that's the problem when you're playing Wayzata. They're so good at playing with a lead, too, because they do exactly what you don't want to have happen. They They're not going to turn the ball over. They don't take chances, and they just slowly wear you out. And he didn't get a good enough workout in the first half. Had to get a little bit of biking going on here, just getting loose. But you got that. I mean, it's old school football, isn't it, John? You see so much spread and passing. And Wayzata say, we got one back. He might carry the ball 40, 50 times tonight. And is there anything you guys can do about it? They know what their bread and butter is, and they do it better than anyone. And stick with the game plan, and sprinkle in a few Tom Schmidt play actions, and you got yourself a complete game plan.
John Olson, we've seen his strong leg already. We watched him kicking field goals at halftime. Kicked one through from 60 yards. Yeah. Good chance to get this one into the end zone as he did on his first kickoff tonight.
He may play here in the 5 or 6 years if he can keep that up.
This one not quite as deep and will be fielded and in play. Taken at the 5-yard line and returned by Julian Dietrich out past the 20. Gets to the 23-yard line. Hank English on the tackle. So the offense getting rather ready to come back on the field. 203 total yards in the first half of play.
Well, you remember yesterday, Champlin Park had the same score at halftime, got the ball, and I said the same thing yesterday, that they could set the tone here, and Lakeville North did a great job of adjusting and really flipping the script. So we'll see if Lakeville South maybe makes some alignment differences, or bring some extra guys up in the box to try to slow Christian Vassar.
So you're going to lose it for a second.
They're going with an unbalanced line.
Vassar on first down, 25-yard line to the 30, breaks another tackle to the 35, and he gets 13 yards on his 30th carry tonight, and he's up to 174 yards.
And I'll tell you what, Zach Juckle, number 85, he's a linebacker for the Cougars. He got an open look. Watch him come into the backfield right there. And if you got an open shot, you got to try to make that play. Great hustle by Juckle. Comes back to make the tackle, but instead of a loss of 2, you end up giving a big run to Christian Vassar.
3 broken tackles on that play. Gain of 13 from the 36-yard line. Dietrich comes in motion. He gets his first carry tonight to the 40-yard line, to the 44, and he picks up 8.
And a little bit different style, right? A little bit smaller, a little bit more speed there and explosiveness, and kind of catches Lakeville South off guard. They haven't run that with that jet sweep, the quick handoff, and he's able to get to the outside and pick up a huge gain on first down.
13th carry on the season for Dietrich, averaging over 12 yards per carry, and it's limited action as a running back.
I'd say that's pretty impressive.
That's not a bad average. He's only a sophomore, Ryan. On second down and short, play action. Schmidt throwing, completion, wide open is Bodine. All the way down to the 26 of Lakeville South. Pickup of 31 yards.
And again, play action, and that time they let it develop a little bit, so it wasn't a quick slant. And your first thought as a defender is take away Wildermuth there, and then you have Bodine coming right down the middle of the seam. Great throw, accurate throw, and almost went for a touchdown. Big throw and catch.
First down, Vassar, big hole up the middle. Into the secondary, and he's down at the 13-yard line before he's tackled by Otto. 15 more yards for Vassar in the Wayzata offense.
I don't think Tom Schmidt's had an incompletion tonight, has he? Is he 5 for 5 or 4 for 4?
4 of 6.
4 of 6, but very effective and just enough to soften the Cougars' defense up. And your punishment for allowing the pass is now more Christian Vassar, and he just keeps wearing on you up the middle. But just a great mix, great play calling tonight, too, for the Trojans.
First and 10 just outside the Lakeville South 12. Back to Vassar again. He got tripped up. He might have gone for a score. Gains 2 yards to the 10-yard line. Looked like it was Mark Wasser got a hand on him and knocked him down for a short gain.
Yeah, either that or Joe Salonik's leg might have tripped him up too. It was a good kick out really well blocked. It just looked like his feet got tangled up, or to your point, John, he might have walked into the end zone.
Second down and goal, or second down and 8 rather, from the 10.
And there's not a worse feeling for a defense than feeling helpless. Like there's nothing we can do to stop the team. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the feeling Wayzata gives to you.
Vassar, he gains 4 yards to the 6, goes to the 5. It'll be third down and 3 from there.
I couldn't find, I was trying to look for if Christian Vassar had any fumbles lost on the year, and I couldn't find the stat on the internet at all, but he takes such good care of the football too for as many carries as he gets.
It's the call again. He's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown tonight.
Did you see Big Joe Solonek out in front there, just driving his man about 3 yards deep into the end zone? I think I see why Vassar said last week that he owes all the credit to the offensive line. I mean, it's a lot on him, and he's such a great runner, but those big guys up front, and Solonek on that one did his job, holding his block and driving his man back, just overpowering right now the Cougar defense.
Melquist on for the extra point. Snap a little bit high, but placed down on the kick up and through. And it's 28-7. What an opening drive to start the second half for Wayzata.
Yeah, watch this. Look at that push up front, and there you see Solonek out in front. That's just physical football.
Vassar with that carry, over 200 yards rushing for the second week in a row. 201 yards on 34 carries. He's a little winded. He needs a break there. Hey, it's funny because at the end of the regular season, they talked about get Malachi Jackson a few more touches in the postseason, especially early on, which they did a little bit against that first week against Egan. But these last 2 weeks, it's been a steady diet of number 4 behind that offensive line.
Well, and if it continues too, John, and they are able to tack on maybe another touchdown lead, you wonder at what point do you give some other guys carries and start thinking about, hey, we want to make sure everyone's healthy. No risk of injuries going forward.
Hagelin on the return. He'll bring it out past the 30 to the 31. So South a 3-touchdown hole now. Try to dig themselves out of. Have an offense that can move the ball, but they're at a point now where you still got a quarter and a half plus to go, but you're almost at a point where you need to score in every possession, unless you get like a turnover for score at your defense.
Yeah, and the problem is Wayzata just doesn't turn it over, and they don't throw enough, and they're cautious in their throws where they're not taking those chances. They play complementary football. They take care of it, and they trust their defense. Now your defense is rested too. They're ready to go. So this is a big possession here for the Cougars to try to answer.
Hagelin on first down gets a good run and brings it out 8 yards to the 39. Schmidt and Berkland on the carry. Hagelin tonight 7 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah, and we looked at the yardage at halftime. I mean, Lakeville South didn't move the football. They were able to run for over 150 yards in that first half. They just got to sustain a drive, and they, obviously that turnover at the 1 yard line certainly didn't help them, but they just still enough time where if they keep doing what they're doing and punch it in, they don't have to change yet.
Shabazz gets the carry, didn't get much, but he only needed a yard, and he got a first down.
Yeah, he was met by Big Joe Demro right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, no, it wasn't Demro. I think it was Schmidt that met him. That was a good contact, and then Demro got in on the backside there, but again, not needing much, and that's why getting that big yardage on first down is so important for the Cougars.
Ball at their 41. Patterson will give to Bastier. Finds a little seam. He's out past the 45 to the 48-yard line. Wincherer on the stop at a gain of 8. So each of their running backs has gotten a carry here on their opening drive of the second half.
And Bastier has got that, he's slippery, isn't he? And he's quick. He explodes through the line of scrimmage.
Second and 2. It's Hagelin, and he's got a first down. Schmidt on the carry, 5 more yards, another first down.
Nice start for this drive, too. Just some good rhythm. Every play's positive yards here, and they're moving the football here.
Lakeville South, at least 34 points scored in each of their last 7 games. So far tonight, just 7. Nearing the midway point of the third quarter. It's a rollout for Patterson under a big rush. Throws deep and overthrows this man, Brecky. Copia back defending for Wayzata.
Well, I'll tell you what, they run play action, and it just didn't give him enough time. Patterson, watch Demro on the pass rush. See him just throw his offensive lineman down, and it's not easy to throw when you know you're about to get driven into the turf right there. And just physical on both sides of the football, Wayzata is. And
second down and 10. Patterson keeping. And gets turned sideways after he got a yard to the 41. Well defended by the Trojans. Third down and 9.
It's something small, John. Like, we haven't seen Patterson keep it, I don't think, tonight. Maybe one other time tonight. But that's, against other defenses, that play works extremely well because they're running the ball a little bit more effective, and he keeps it. It's a big play usually. But when you're disciplined and you got great athletes at really every position, it's tough sledding moving the football against this Wayzata team. You got to be able to mix in the pass, I think, and keep them off balance a little bit.
On third down and 9, it's Haglund. It'll be fourth down coming. Gain of 5. Berkland and Wincher are on the stop.
Well, and you got to feel like short field, this time of the game, being down 3 scores, Lakeville South obviously going to keep their offense on the field and go for it here. But you look at Lakeville South, they played a tough schedule as well this year. Beat Totino Grace, who was another #1 seed, first game of the year. Lost a close game to Rosemount, but Prior Lake, Lakeville North Farmington, Mounds View is a very tough team, and they played a tough schedule. They've earned the right here to be in this semifinal game.
Big play for them here on fourth down and 5. And keeping the ball is Shabazz, and he'll only get 2 yards to the 38. And Wayzata's offense takes over on downs. Well defended by Demro and Gage Knutson, number 56, who stayed home, and Schmidt comes off limping, and he is hurt.
I didn't see what happened. It was at the end of the play, at the top of our screen near the sideline, and he looks like he's in quite a bit of pain right there.
The offense comes back out now. 4:33 to go. And leading by 3 touchdowns. Line of scrimmage, the 38. Give us to Vassar. Gains 3 yards out to the 41-yard line. That clock keeps running.
Yeah.
Ryan, the big thing here, 4:20 and ticking.
It does, and I'll tell you, the other thing is you get fewer and fewer possessions because they just sustain these long drives, so it just puts more and more pressure on your offense to have to score when you get a chance. And I'll tell you what else I really like, and I think a lot of this is on Tom Schmidt, the senior quarterback for Wayzata. John, they're patient right now. They're not snapping that ball until that play clock is at 10 or below. So doing a nice job, too, of taking their time.
Play action, Schmidt throwing, and Wildermuth with the catch. It was pretty well covered, and a nice throw. Schmidt dropping it in to Wildermuth, and he's got it down at the 32 of Lakeville South.
Yeah, I thought Hank English, number 25, was in a great spot to maybe make a play on that ball, but just an excellent throw, great touch. And when you throw this, you got to have enough arc on it. You can see it just floated in beautifully. Great concentration, too, by Wildermuth. And that's what you call a corner route, where you start in the middle and you go to the outside. Really well executed.
Back to Vassar, and a short gain, only a yard to the 31-yard line. Tackle made by Juckle and Nick Austin. for Wildermuth tonight. 4 catches for 66 yards.
Yeah, I mean, those are big plays, too. They haven't been small completions. They've been down the field. You know, and the other stat that really stands out with Tom Schmidt is it was a low 60% completion percentage, so accurate. And when they do throw, they usually connect. And it's not a ton, but it's just enough to complement that running game beautifully.
And Schmidt going for it all to Wildermuth again, and incomplete. Coverage by Daniel Otto. And it's 3rd and 9.
Well, last night we saw Champlin Park get that lead, and I thought maybe take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. Lambert Brown not doing that tonight. He's going for the jugular. There they run the play action. And again, pretty well defended and thrown in a perfect spot. You don't underthrow that. You throw it long and to the outside. So you take that chance trying to really end this game, if you will, by going up another score. So I like the play call.
Schmidt will back up now. Play clock winding down on 3rd and 9. He'll give to Vassar. And well defended and down after a gain of just 2 to the 29 is Vassar.
Yeah, George Brecky did a nice job coming up, making a sure tackle there, and again, hitting Vassar low. If you hit him up high, he's got that drive to drive an extra couple of yards, but if you can get him low, wrap him up on the legs. Nice tackle by Brecky.
4th down and 7 for Wayzata, and a spot on the field where you're going to go for it here, even on the 4th and a little bit longer. Try to keep this drive alive. So really needs to stop here. Schmidt fakes the handoff. Steps into a throw to the end zone, trying to get it to Bush, and it's incomplete. Hank English helps break up the pass. And Lakeville South takes over on downs.
Yeah, great stop there for the Cougars. Nice job, too, by English. He was in a great spot. Nice play call. You design rollout here and some good pressure there. And again, that ball was pretty much right on the money. Thrown. He gave Bush a chance to make a play on that, and good coverage.
Riley Mallman was the guy coming in with the pressure, and I think didn't allow Schmidt to step into that throw as much as he wanted to.
A little bit too, yeah.
So the offense back on the field for Lakeville South, and the handoff goes to Shabazz. He brings it out to the 35-yard line and picks up 5.
Yeah, and Lakeville South, again, I mean, offense really built for having a lead. And granted, they can break one of these runs for a big play, but not built to have to throw the football down the field.
Patterson will keep it.
Nice.
And a gain out to near 1st down yardage. His 38-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him just shy of a 1st down, and a pickup of 4 for Patterson.
He's a talented kid. You can tell how he runs. He's a good runner. You want to be able to put the football in his hands.
And just a junior in Hagelin. That backfield, both will be coming back next year. He'll keep it here, and a good surge by that offensive line. Gains him 3 yards.
Great surge up front. That's a good push by some big boys there for the Cougars, and they get a great drive, pick up a nice 1st down, keep the drive moving.
We are inside of a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Wayzata has the only points here of the 2nd half. They lead at 28-7. Roll out for Patterson. He's under a rush, gets away from that. Now he's going to run the ball, and we'll get to midfield. And then some late activity on the sideline. Flags fly, and this could very well go against Wayzata after the nice run by Patterson to escape from danger. Let's hear the call.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, number 24, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and that's where you got to be careful in a game like this. You got the lead, you know, and remember in high school, if you get 2 of those penalties in a game, you get ejected and have to miss the next game. So got to play with your head. It's emotional, and really nice job by Patterson there to run. He's fast, and can see getting some tangled up there, and Lakeville South got to push in as well. It's where you just got to walk away.
Play action. Patterson throwing to Brecky. He's got him for a touchdown. 35 yards, and Lakeville South strikes.
Great play action by Patterson, and that time they ran a little bit of different route. The play action was to the left, and Brecky kind of was running back across the field to the right. And I'll tell you what, Reed Patterson showing some nice touch on his throws. He hit a long one earlier to Brecky, and that one, he just dropped it in beautifully. And Ukofia was in pretty good position. That ball just perfectly thrown. And again, we talked about Brecky being their big play guy in the passing game.
Extra point from Olson. That is up and through. Lakeville South has life. Final seconds of the third quarter. Now it's 28-14.
Yeah, great play action. You see number 2 up the top of your screen. Look at him running across the field. And I mean, if that ball's 2 inches short, Ukofia is able to make a play on that. But watch just great touch. Beautiful spiral. Nice job by Brecky concentrating and hauling it in for the touchdown. And again, I'll go back to that fumble at the 1 foot line, John. I mean, imagine if that hadn't happened, we might have a 1-score game.
Brecky's 15th catch of the year. 6 of them have been for touchdowns. He had 2 catches tonight for 81 yards.
And again, it's hard to defend that pass because 95% of their plays are run. And as a defensive back, you start creeping up slower and slower. Your eyes are in the backfield, and then they hit you with that play action. And Patterson with a strong arm and also good touch, and he's looked very accurate here tonight.
I like right after the penalty, they go right back to the pass again. The last play was a design pass. Patterson ended up scrambling, plus the penalty. They go right back to it on first down and strike.
But as a defense, you're thinking, well, they're not going to throw again. Right. They don't throw off. So just a little bit of chess match going on, and the Cougars had the right play in at the right time.
Olson's kick, a line driver. That'll skip by Robertson and into the end zone. Touchback, Wayzata will have it at their 20-yard line.
Well, I think this is a really important drive for both teams right now. You kind of feel like Lakeville South might have got some of that momentum back, and see if Wayzata can go on one of their patented drives where they just start leaning on you and they take 4 or 5 minutes and kind of suck the life out of you. Or can the Cougars make a play on first down, get a loss, and force a 3-and-out and get the ball back into their offense? This is a decisive time of the game, I think, John, this drive.
Schmidt will hand off to Vassar. Lost his helmet again. It's the second time he's lost his lid. It's a couple yards out to the 22 on what will be, they're going to stop the clock. He lost his helmet. That should be the last play of the third quarter.
I just gasp when I see that because you pray that someone's knee or helmet or elbow or something just doesn't hit their head when they don't have their helmet on. We're going to take a look at it, why that's popping off there.
Wayzata lets the rest of the clock run out, and that is the end of the third quarter. Each team puts up 7 more. In the third quarter, we go to the fourth. Our score, Wayzata 28, Lakeville South 14. Lakeville South fans that are here tonight, they're at the bank enjoying football. Everybody's happy to be out of the cold, I think. The last couple of Friday nights have been not the most pleasant. You get to play here with a the Vikings play, and a cool experience for all these kids, like we talked about earlier.
Well, and some of those playoff games that we did outside where it's freezing, you look in the stands and people are in blankets, and you get to come inside, there's a Super Bowl played here, and these kids get to play where the Super Bowl is played. I mean, the fans are, it's just such a fun atmosphere. And it really is. It's for the players, it's fun, the coaches, even for us as it's fun to be in here, and the crowd's certainly enjoying it, and we're also getting to see football played at a really high level too. So it's a win for everybody.
Second out of 9 for Wayzata to start the fourth quarter. Vassar, that was a hard-earned 4 yards out to the 25. Excuse me, that's Malachi Jackson with his first carry tonight, replacing Vassar in the backfield, at least for a couple of plays here. Jackson, also a starter on the defensive line, picks up 4.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a big stop on second down. It was going to be 3rd and long, and he just kept moving the pile and setting up a 3rd and manageable.
3rd and 5 from the 25. South fans back on their feet again. Fake the handoff. Smith throwing, floats a pass, and Wildermuth comes down with a catch at the 45. I thought that had the chance to be broken up or perhaps intercepted, but instead Wildermuth goes up and grabs it, and it's a huge pickup for Wayzata, a gain of 20.
Well, that's a trust throw by Schmidt, knowing that he knows Wildermuth is going to come down with this. The ball's a little high. Watch him go up and get this, but look at the hands. You can see it trying to rip that away. Great hands by Wildermuth to hang on to that one.
1st and 10, and it's back to Vassar. He's in the backfield with Jackson. A gain of 4 yards. Look at that pass play one more time.
Nice route, too. You can see him plant and drive, and then look at him go up and backwards. And then right there at the end, it looked like the ball was coming out. He did a great job of maintaining possession through that. There's a reason why he's always open, and a lot of it is he's got great speed, but he runs great routes. You see him drive that foot into the ground and cut and plant off of it extremely well. And again, like I said, it's just a really nice rhythm and a good relationship between quarterback and receiver there, and it's trust.
Vassar and Jackson, the backs on either side of Schmidt on 2nd down and 7. Give to Vassar. Driving to midfield. Picks up a couple of yards to bring up 3rd down and 5.
How terrifying for a defense. You see Vassar back there, who's already run for 200 yards. And you look at his counterpart, it's Malachi Jackson at 6'2", 210 pounds. He's a defensive lineman, and yet here he is in your backfield, and he's athletic and fast, and just a lot of weapons on this Trojan team.
3rd down and 5, under 10 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Schmidt looking to the sideline, play clock at 15. Vassar now the lone back, 2 receivers to the left. A rollout for Schmidt, some pressure, a throw to Vassar, gets the completion, but it'll be short of the 1st down, only a 2-yard gain there. They don't throw to Vassar a lot, that's just his 3rd catch of the season. It'll be 4th down and 3.
Yeah, kind of a different route than we're used to seeing with Wayzata. They rolled Schmidt out to the left. That's a hard throw. And a nice catch, too, by Vassar, knowing he was going to get some contact, well defended. And Lakeville South does their job after marching down and scoring. Their defense comes up with a stop. It looks like they're going to force a punt.
Vassar got a new helmet after that last series. Remember, his helmet had popped off for a 2nd time near the end of the 3rd quarter. So now he's got another helmet on this last series to start here the 4th quarter. The punt away by Martinson, fair caught back at the 17-yard line by Shabazz, and that's where South will start. Well, it's now or never here for the Cougars, trailing by 2 touchdowns, but they do have the football. 8:36 to play in the 4th quarter.
Well, remember that last drive, the success really coming through the passing game. Some big plays through the air to Brecky, and see if Lakeville South is comfortable enough going back to that passing game, and if they don't, maybe they've softened the Trojan defense up enough to get back to the running game as well.
They'll give to Hagelin up the middle. He's got a nice hole, and he's out to the 25-yard line, and a pickup of 8.
Looks like things are getting chippy out there, doesn't it, John? Looks like there's some pushing and talking going back and forth.
Close to 9 for Hagelund. 2nd down and 1. He'll get the call again. Not a lot, but he's got enough for a 1st down. Tackled on the play by Drew Birkeland with a big fumble recovery for a touchdown a week ago against Centennial.
Yeah, and he's come up and had a lot of tackles here tonight. They need that. This running game, defensive linemen are getting blocked. They're doing their job. You need your linebackers and secondary to come up and make a lot of plays.
Here's Bastier, slips through a hole before he's cut down by Ukofia. Gets to the 33-yard line.
And you see the rhythm that the Cougars are playing with. They're in the huddle, they're in and out, knowing that the time, 7:30 remaining, down 2 scores, knowing that they got to keep this drive going. They got to go as quick as possible and put points up.
The rollout and a throw, and just overthrowing Brecky was Patterson. He hasn't misfired on much tonight, but he overthrew his man there.
Yeah, it wasn't by much either, just about a yard or so in front of Brecky. But again, pretty strong arm on the run there, not able to plant his feet. Still got a nice ball off, just a little bit in front.
3 of 5 passing tonight for 79 yards and a touchdown.
Been impressed really, John, with both quarterbacks tonight. Again, mostly running football teams, but they've both delivered when they've needed to.
On 3rd and 5, here's Hagelin, and he's got a 1st down out past the 40 to the 41. Gain of 8.
And again, that great burst. You see how he lowered his shoulder, knowing where that 1st down was, and he finished his run. I love running backs that seek contact, that watch him penetrate forward. Right there, he lowers that shoulder. He gets an extra 5 yards after contact. That's a big-time run for a 1st down.
Hagelin tonight, 12 carries, 69 yards. 1st down and 10 from the 41. He'll get the call again, trying to bounce outside, and he gets 4, close to 5 more yards. Out past the 45-yard line. Tackled by Brown.
I think if you're Wayzata, you're okay with this. If you're giving up 4, 5, 6 yards every carry, it's gonna take some clock to get down. You just don't want to give up that big home run play, whether it's a run or play action in the pass, but you'll give up these 4 to 5 yards every time.
It's Bastier, and he's driven sidewise after getting about 3. Birkeland been very active tackling tonight. It'll be 3rd down and 3 to go.
Yeah, Birkeland only a sophomore too, one of the only sophomores starting on defense, and he's getting some great experience this year, and not only that, but he's making some great plays.
You're right, Ryan. That clock continues to move. Effective as this drive has been, it's chewed up close to 2.5 minutes. Roll out by Patterson. He's dropped in the backfield for a loss. Ukofia and Demro back to the 44 of Lakeville South at a loss of 4.
That's just perfectly executed defense. Ukofia setting the edge, not allowing Patterson to get to the outside. And Joe Demro comes with his motor just running down the line of scrimmage. Watch 99 in the middle of the play here. Watch him not give up. As soon as that cutback happens, he's right there to clean it up. Beautiful team defense.
4th down for Lakeville South. 7 to go from their 44. This could, in essence, be it for Lakeville South if they do not convert and keep this drive going. Patterson wanting to throw. We get a whistle. And a timeout taken.
Timeout
by Lakeville South.
Lakeville South, their first charge, timeout.
Ryan, it's their last fall telecast of the year. KSTC, Channel 45 is the exclusive broadcast rights of the Prep Bowl in 2 weeks. But we'll be into basketball season soon enough here.
Well, pretty fun for us, and pretty fun too that I'd say midway through the year we got to see there's a look at the upcoming telecasts, and can't believe hockey's already coming up too. It's just amazing. But seeing all the teams we get to see throughout the year, I got a feeling early on that Champlin Park was the real deal, just by how physical they were, their offensive defensive line. I think Jace Miller is playing as well as any quarterback in the state right now, and they got athletes at wide receiver. They got those great linebackers that you guys did a wonderful story on. And I felt like Wayzata was probably the most complete team, and kind of neat to see our two teams come to fruition here. And
Lakeville South trying to prevent that here in their semifinal on 4th and 7. Patterson throwing and the completion to Hagelin for a first down in traffic. What a throw and catch to keep the drive alive. Excuse me, it's Shabazz on the catch.
Well, Shabazz with a great catch, but how about Patterson, left-handed quarterback sprinting out to his right, throwing against his body, and there was a number of white jerseys around that. That was an accurate throw and a great conversion.
Gain of 12, first down and 10 south of the 47 of Wayzata. Patterson, roll out left, throws and a little bit low and incomplete. Trying to get it to Shabazz again. Look at that previous play.
Well, a lot of Vikings fans remember Brett Favre rolling out and throwing across his body. Not what you're taught to do, but that's just a gamer, big-time play and catch. And interesting, too, these last two plays you've seen Lakeville South always go with a full backfield. Now they've spread it out a little bit. And, you know, and from the looks of it, Patterson looks like he's a quarterback that can be an excellent thrower as well.
On second down, Patterson will keep it. Steps inside and gets down to the 43-yard line. Gain of 5 on the tackle. On the play with a tackle by Deslich and Matt Schmidt. Third down and 5. Line of scrimmage of 42. That clock continues to run under 4.5 minutes to go now.
That's where you got to start thinking about maybe taking shots. You got to pick up the first down, obviously, but.
Patterson looking downfield, floats it, trying to get to Shabazz. Almost came up with that. Wow, a terrific effort by Johnny Shabazz and couldn't quite come up with the football.
Well, beautiful throw, good coverage too, but that was almost a spectacular catch by Shabazz. He got his hands on it, he bobbled it. I thought for a second he might be able to have the concentration there to keep possession of it, but good throw downfield. And again, just seems like 30 seconds ago we had a big 4th down and long. Here we got a 4th and 5.
Wayzata fans on their feet across the way on 4th down and 5 for South with 4:05 to play in the 4th quarter. Patterson, roll out, throw, and a completion. Didn't get it last time, but how about this catch by Shabazz? He pulls it down out of the air with one hand and a gain of 7 and a first down.
And I actually think, John, that was going to Brecky, the deeper receiver behind him. You're going to see in our screen, Brecky's the deeper receiver here, and I think this is, oh, maybe not. That's a heck, that looked like Kyle Rudolph last week with those big mitts pulling down a one-handed catch.
From the 34, Patterson's got a scramble, and he's brought down hard at the 31 after a gain of a couple. Schmidt again on the stop. There is a flag down.
Illegal shift on the offense. The player was not set for 1 second. Number 2, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Let's take a look at that pass play again on the 4th down conversion. Patterson just floats it in the one-handed grab. Patterson's like, yeah, my guy had it all the way. Shabazz coming down with it.
Not only did he one-handed, but he left-handed at the ball behind him. That's maybe we have a new Chick-fil-A play of the week. That was a heck of a catch.
1st and 15 from the 39. Stepping up, Patterson fires and incomplete. Almost intercepted by Ukofe. Yeah, he broke it up.
He made a break on it. I think he saw daylight in front of him. Maybe took his eyes off of it. That was close to being picked off. And still almost caught after it was bobbled there. It looked like Lakeville South might have a chance to catch that.
3:32 to go. 2nd and 15 for Lakeville South. Patterson steps into his throw and throws it high, trying to get it to Geary, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was made by Luke Deselich, number 40 for Wayzata. He's a linebacker. He got good depth in his drop. And by doing that, it forced Patterson to have to throw that, I think, a little bit higher than he wanted to, and the ball sailed out of bounds. So nice job by Deselich getting depth on that and forcing a really hard throw. This is where if you're in the secondary, your eyes are starting to get big because you know throws are coming, and nothing better than making a big play, a big pick, and U.S. Bank Stadium, state semifinals. See the Wayzata fans fired up.
3rd down and 15. Patterson throws and gets a completion to the near sideline. Catch made by English. It's a short gain, though. Gain back 6, maybe 7 yards, but there was a 3rd and 15. Now it's 4th and 8.
That was a long throw, though.
Yeah.
It seemed like threw across the field again, rolling to his right. Very accurate, too, when he's rolling out to his right. But I'll tell you, that's big. You get half of that 15 yards, so at least you don't have 4th and 15. You set up a 4th and 8 here. And again, with 3:23 left here, it's a big play to keep this drive going.
Needing their 3rd, 4th down conversion of the drive, and they get it. No, Shabazz is out of bounds. Out of bounds, didn't come down with it. And Wayzata will take over on downs.
To my eye, it looked like it was a pretty good throw and catch. We'll get a good look at it here.
No, he was out.
Yeah?
Yeah, that first foot came out. Cole Brown on the coverage, and he was out. And so Wayzata takes over. 2-score lead, Ryan. 3:18 to go. Hang on to the football, right?
Hang on to the football, and if you can pick up, 2 timeouts, Lakeville South, if they're able to pick up 1 first down, you got to think this one is over. I wonder what they'll do, John.
Hand off to number 4. And he gets a couple of yards out to the 34. A great effort. A good game they did. Shabazz tonight almost came up with another circus catch on that 4th down play.
Yeah, that one-handed, left-handed catch on 4th down nonetheless, too, to keep that drive going earlier. That was remarkable.
Under 3 minutes to go. 2nd down and 7 for Wayzata. They're from their 35. Christian Vassar tonight, 41 carries, 216 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He gets the carry again. Vassar gets into the open. Christian Vassar to the 30, brought down from behind at the 25. That's a gain of 40.
I think if he had his old helmet, he's wearing number 53's helmet right now. If he had his old helmet, he probably would have scored there. But again, nothing different there, just nice down blocks. And Vassar, great vision, bounces it outside, and he's just one of those rare breeds, again, that just, like I said, you wouldn't know if it's the 4th quarter, if that's his 42nd carry, or if that's his 1st carry. He just so consistent, so durable, dependable. It just seems to get better as games go on. Just wears on you.
42 carries, 256 now. And get the call again on 1st down. Breaks a tackle, gets 3 yards down to the 22 as we are under 2 minutes to play.
If I'm Wayzata, what I do, if I'm a good teammate, I'm Tom Schmidt, I run backwards about 40 yards so that I can get the ball back to Vassar. See if we can get him over 300 yards for the night. Even on that carry, John, he only gained 2 yards, but you see him stop and almost backpedal to avoid contact and then still able to finish forward. And Wayzata very smartly, they're going to run this clock down to under 10 seconds, snap the ball with 1 or 2 seconds left on the play clock.
Nearly 400 yards of total offense for Wayzata tonight. That's not something like the South defense is used to tonight.
Yep.
Vassar gets the call again. Be shy of a 1st down. But he does pick up 6 more yards. And South will use their 2nd timeout here with 1:04 to go.
Well, 3rd and 2, obviously they'll run a play here, try to get that first down. If they're able to get that, they can kneel on it and advance. And we got our 2 CCX teams in the prep bowl.
Let's see how the other one got here, Ryan. You were here with Jay Wilcox and our crew last night for the first semifinal in 6A, Lakeville North and Champlin Park. Look at highlights from the Rebels win over the Panthers.
Well, they did it early, John, on the first half. It was all through the air. There's Shipman mixed in with a touchdown, but Jace Miller came out and was so effective throwing the football. That was just spectacular. What a catch.
Defense was solid. Jace Miller, great night again, running the football, throwing the football, and they're into the prep bowl the first time since 2002 and the third time in school history, and it looks like almost certainly they'll be facing Wayzata 2 weeks from tonight right here.
Well, happy for Nick Keenan, the head coach at Champlin Park. Came over from Big Lake in his second year as the head coach, and he's just done a great job.
Vassar's got a first down inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line. And they can run the victory formation from here. Vassar unofficially 45 carries for 270 yards. Gets him close to 1,900 now on the season and 21 touchdowns. A great job by Ben Burke and this coaching staff to get this Lakeville South team to this point, and scored on the first drive tonight. But in the end, it's not going to be enough. And it's always tough for the seniors, right? Or for any player when the season's over, but especially the guys that are putting on that uniform for the last time.
Well, it's emotional because even a couple that are going to play in college, it's never the same, playing for your friends and people that you've grown up with and known in your school and your teachers. And it's emotional, and a lot of emotions go through your mind when it's your last football game. To your point, they've just been a wonderful story this year and how they've come together. And lucky for them, they got their quarterback and a running back and a couple other players coming back for another year. They're going to be ready. They're going to be back again next year with a lot of confidence and a lot of experience.
The kneel down by Schmidt. And that is going to be it. Wayzata, for the first time since 2011, into the prep bowl. They are unbeaten and 12-0.
Pretty exciting. Pretty unbelievable. 2 great teams. I think that's going to be a heck of a matchup. I can't wait. Are we going to run some stories during the next couple of weeks?
I think we'll run some stories on CCX News between now and then.
Can you go back in the archives when I said they're the 2 most complete teams a long time ago?
I think I can find that.
All right, good. It'll negate all the other dumb stuff I've said throughout the year, so that'd be perfect.
Unfortunately, we won't get any kind of special dispensation from the high school league to allow us to telecast one more game between 2 of our local teams, Champlin Park and Wayzata, but it has been a fun football season. Ryan, thanks for all your work and all of our crew that's done such a great job, and some tough weather, and but great tonight to win this one.
Yeah, it is, and I'll tell you what, I work in the medical field, and I talk to colleagues all over the country, and they all think it's great. They watch our games online on CCX, and a number of them have said to me how professional the broadcasts are and how great our camera people do and our production and our truck. And you and Jay at play-by-play are as good as anyone around. And I love doing it. I sure appreciate it, and a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of great football this year too.
Congratulations to South on a great season. They finish up with just their 2nd loss of the year. And it's Wayzata as they all go over to their student section enjoying this one, and another terrific win, and how well they've played here in the postseason. And they get to play one more time as Wayzata Trojans on November 29th at 7 o'clock against Champlin Park.
Well, I'll tell you, and both of my state championship games were the day after Thanksgiving. Now, Thanksgiving's always a little goofy because you got practice in the morning, and you're a little nervous, right? You can't just relax and lounge on the couch and eat, until you can't eat anymore. And you got that butterflies, your nerves, you're excited, and you want to. It's a tough one. It's different. It's such a great experience, and it's, like I said, it's one these kids, these fans, parents, everyone will remember for the rest of their life.
And the fans enjoying their team tonight and coming down to U.S. Bank Stadium, supporting them as they head on to the Prep Bowl. Well, that will do it for our coverage tonight. Thanks again for all of our crew for all the work they've put in all season. It's our final football telecast of the season. Channel 45 will have the Prep Bowl for you in 2 weeks. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back. Hockey and basketball season on the horizon right here on CCX. Congratulations to Lambert Brown and the rest of the Trojans as they play in the Prep Bowl against Champlin Park. For Ryan Iverson and all of us here at CCX, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Our final score again tonight from U.S. Bank Stadium, Wayzata 28, Lakeville South 14.